subscribe, and ring the bell to never miss an update. Hello everyone! We all enjoy thrifting and finding beautiful treasures. Today on Lady Mary Beth, I am taking you along to Bella's Candles in Round Top, Texas to discover a new way to embrace vintage vessels. Join me. It's always a good idea to repurpose vintage finds. It also saves on storage if we can use an item in many different ways. Today we're going to discover a new use for some of your favorite thrifted finds and perhaps even some family pieces that you've had just hiding in the cabinet. This is a beautiful store and I'm thrilled to introduce you to this new idea. Welcome to Bella's Candles in Round Top. This shop is open year-round, and it is bustling during show season. We will discover a new use for vintage pieces and sense of style. I enjoy learning from many of you on our Facebook group page, Lady Mary Beth's Table. I invite you to join us there, and you've got some great ideas. We can always learn something new, and definitely is a way to help the next generation embrace some of our favorite vintage items. If you give them one of these beautiful pieces, they will certainly enjoy this and elevate their everyday, even though maybe they normally wouldn't choose an item like this. They suddenly see the value. It's especially nice if it's a family piece. Tabletop and decorative pieces can be used in a myriad of ways. Have you ever considered filling them with hand-poured wax? It's aromatherapy for the home and great for gifting. Let's take a look at this fantastic store with sense of style. I love the wreaths with the upcycled vintage glass ornaments. I'm sure those will sell very quickly. And keep in mind, you can also bring that back to its original state. If you have maybe poured into a Revere bowl, enjoyed your candle, then you can use it for any other purpose. It's not a permanent thing just because you've poured the wax in. It gets used up just like anything else. And you can look forward to some refill events and have a brand new candle. These are fantastic. I especially enjoy the covered boxes and biscuit barrels. And I do look for back stamps, especially on pieces like this, because you can find the hallmark. Many of these are from England. We'll talk more about that. It shows it in a new light. Lots of detail here, and it has been revived with a candle. Some of these containers have been sourced at the Portobello Road Market and the Silver Vaults in London, and even right here in Round Top. You can certainly shop your home and your local resale store to find some of these wonderful pieces to fill with candles. I think that I could pull some things out of my cabinet and have them filled with some hand-poured wax to give as Christmas gifts. That cut to clear is exquisite. They can also do some custom candles for you with a private label. In fact, they are working with some companies now to do that. Round Top, population 87, how about that? And you can see how elegant it is, cello wrapped with a satin ribbon for the perfect gift under the tree. Keep that in mind when you are shopping for just about anything in a thrift store. You can make it look like $1 million. Simple ceramic pumpkins filled with wax. So many ideas we get here. And remember to always look at the back stamp on pieces such as this biscuit barrel, which is fantastic. It's my favorite piece in the shop, the Imari. And we always want to look under the lid too, of course, for that beautiful candle, but also the back stamp, because that gives us lots of information on the history of a piece. You can do your research. Beautiful crown back stamp. And let's see what's under the lid here. Sheffield from 1885. It's $260 from Walker and Hall. Gorgeous. I did try to source some of these on eBay and they go for a lot. So $260 is actually a good price for that, filled with a candle. Just love the silver plate. It's very stately and goes with any decor. These tankards are fantastic and hand chased. I'm delighted to introduce you to Gretchen Carr. She is the owner and visionary of Bella's Candles. And I'm anxious to find out what inspired her with these luxury scents and vintage vessels.
Well, thank you. Originally, I was inspired by my husband's grandmother passed away, and I had a lot of her old cups and saucers. And Martha Stewart was making candles out of old candles one day and repurposing. And I thought, what a lovely idea to make some candles and give them back to my husband's family to remember her by. In South Texas, we have prayer candles, and it was a similar thought in my mind. So that inspired me to start repurposing all these gorgeous pieces that often get left in our china cabinet and not used.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing your world of luxury scents with us.
Thank you.
They have a nice variety in store. You can also bring your own vessels to pop-up events that they host throughout the year: Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, all over the Texas Hill Country. Of course, you could also mail something into them. And they do have an online store. Prices are per ounce, and you get to choose the fragrance. We'll definitely talk more about the fragrances as well. And these are some vessels that I have brought for the Houston Refill event. I need some expert advice on which ones would work well. And believe it or not, the Rose Bowl is not a great candidate because it curves in a bit. And this piece that I found at the largest Goodwill in Houston has found a new home and without a candle. The square-footed dipped ruby vase I sourced at Team Resale in Tomball, and that's also not going to work well. It is rather tall. The cylinder style is not conducive to oxygen getting to that flame. I brought a few vessels from home, some of which I have thrifted. You probably recognize this Indiana glass company, Compote, in that mid-century avocado green. And I'm here to get some expert advice on which would work well for hand pouring candles and to figure out the approximate cost as well. And then I get to choose some scents. This is a large Santa that was dropped off by a customer for the refill event, getting ready for the holidays. It's bigger than a Buick and jolly. I absolutely adore this. I'm most excited about this Jolly Santa. This is a vintage look, and actually it is a stock item that you can pick up at Bella's Candles. And here's how it looks filled. Wouldn't that make a great Christmas gift? Another item for consideration is the Wedgwood Jasperware Cash Pot. They have already measured all of these vessels for me, and this is 24 ounces, so I can figure out the price. And I think that would be a nice contrast with the white candle in this beautiful blue jasperware. For the refill event, you will drop it off that morning and usually pick it up later that day or the next day. These are the 4 winners. They will work very well to have with hand-poured candles filled. We all love Chinoiserie, and this I picked up at the Guild Shop in Houston, and it was under $40. I'm thrilled to have it, and it is a covered dish. I think this would be absolutely perfect for a hand-poured candle. A Waterford Crystal Millennium Collection wine coaster. This is something I found recently at a thrift store, and it represents all of the most wonderful things in life: health, happiness, love, prosperity, and peace. And I think that would make a great candle. And now I know what to look for in the future if I am shopping my home or my local resale. That tall wine coaster is perfect. I've narrowed down my selections, and I can't wait to see how these are when they are filled with some wonderfully fragrant candles. And now for the fun part, we talk about fragrances. This is one of the more popular ones, the French Quarter Gardenia. And life is all about choices. I think it really depends on the season and your personal preference, of course. It's the ultimate fragrance experience. Bella's Candles works with high-end perfumeries to develop signature scents. You could choose one for every day, for holiday fun, or even a designer-inspired fragrance. I elevate my everyday with orange vanilla. I have a Paris bowl waiting to gift to a friend with the French Quarter. And I also have some silver-plated Revere bowls with the fantastic Fifth Avenue Gardenia. Many ways that you could choose just the right scent for your vessel. I love those Florentine nesting tables, Chinoiserie, and a shelf full of wonderful items that I would enjoy having in my home, including the Staffordshire dogs. I see some Jasperware and a fabulous Imari bowl. This goes very well with fall. Just love the pattern, the rich colors. It reminds me of a jewelry set that I had made by China Baroque using Royal Crown Derby. You probably have seen me wear this at Heights Antiques on Yale for the fall segment. It's been a very popular one on the channel. Imagine gifting this to a friend. It's something they don't already have, and they will be wowed by this. You can place it on your coffee table, entry table, with an Arthur Wood back stamp. It's a great item. And who would have thought a bowl would work so well? Horns that have been repurposed, $65 with Fifth Avenue Gardenia. And that's a great men's gift. It is hard to find those types of gifts, and I think this would be perfect because everyone can use a candle. I like that small soup tureen as well. And here's the Jasperware. How refreshing to open it up and find the candle. Let's take a look at the back stamp. It is not Wedgwood, Tunstall, England, and it's made by Adams. Wedgwood was not the only company to make Jasperware. Even Villeroy and Boch made it. And that silver-plated biscuit barrel is fabulous. I like that oval shape, which is harder to find. It gives me so many ideas. And this small tureen, it is meant for soup. It's got a spot there for a spoon. Navy and gold, my favorite color combination. And the back stamp tells us it is Mayat and Son from England in the Corinth pattern. It is semi-porcelain. What a great way to repurpose that. Carnival glass tumblers. It's absolutely perfect. And again, a great men's gift. I didn't really think about carnival glass as an option for candle filling, but I think it works quite well. Priced at $42 with a classic scent. Just love it. You could definitely fill a Christmas gift list in this shop. And 'tis the season. Could add some Santas. I will definitely be looking at thrift stores for some of those punch cups. I do see them quite often. And you might pass it by if you just find one, but when you know the possibilities, this one is priced at $35 and you've got a gift ready to go. And that's a great idea for a gift exchange around the holidays. Definitely would bring a smile to someone's face to see jolly old Saint Nick. I especially like the larger one that we saw. That must make quite an impression, seeing that in someone's home. Santa is the perfect gift in the nick of time. You could certainly choose the holiday or Fraser fir scent. The Fraser would carry you more into the new year, and the other is just perfect for the Christmas season. You often find these Santa vintage mugs at thrift stores. That would be a great idea to fill, and they do have some in store for you as well. Some great giftables as well, including small matchboxes. Of course, if you gift a candle, you might want to give some matches to go with it. That's fun. Of course, you could fill anything inside of that. And even the smallest vessels can hold a candle. This is an old soap box. Look at that. It's almost a travel size. Or a stocking stuffer, priced at $18. I see a lot of things here that I know the younger generation might say, no thank you, we're not interested in your bubble glass, your cut crystal, but fill it with a candle. And I do believe that will change their way of thinking. This oval dish, I just love that shape. And look at the detail, priced at $60. That's a great price. What delights me most is inspiring the next generation. Maybe they don't want our heirloom gravy boat or mid-century compote. You fill it with a high-quality wax, and that seals the deal. Then there is renewed interest in some of these special pieces. I understand from some of our viewers in the UK that this wooden biscuit barrel was a staple in many homes. And what a great way to repurpose this. I just love it. That shiny silver could be a barrel of fun. Wish I had one of these. A present from a friend. This looks to be a vintage cup. Ruby and gold accents. Priced at $120. It's definitely an antique. Of course, you could bring a cup that you find in your cabinet or something that's special. And you pay by the ounce. A nice collection of Chinoiserie. Let's open the lid and see what it looks like inside. I'm sure it's a nice contrast with the blue and white. Let's have a look. Oh, that's perfect with this covered box. I wish someone would gift me one of these. What a great idea to add to your Christmas gift list. This one has 4 wicks. Just love it. You see that meander pattern that's going around? Similar to the Greek key. What to look for in a container? Here's a great example here with a covered box. This Chinoiserie is absolutely perfect. It's got the 3 candle wicks. And you can also look for compotes, silver Revere bowls, tall wine coasters, and even an open vegetable dish. Lots of possibilities. A special cut to clear biscuit barrel. And with the wax, it is a nice contrast inside. You can actually see the beautiful craftsmanship there. We've talked extensively about cut to clear. This one's priced at $165. It's an interesting process. You could definitely take a look at some of the previous segments on the channel. And I have had viewers ask, what is a biscuit barrel? It's a cookie jar. And in England, cookies are called biscuits. And that's a great way to store them. You can use biscuit barrels in many ways. That footed silver-plated bowl is wonderful. It's definitely a fragrant store when you walk in. It's absolutely a happy place. So many unique things that you can't find over here that have been sourced at markets in London. And also some contemporary items too. You'll see with that mercury glass. Reminds me of Martha Stewart. And this handled basket is dainty and delightful. How lovely is that for $135? And you got some hallmarks on this one. It is Sheffield. A Revere bowl is classic. The Revere bowl is a classic tabletop essential and a wonderful vessel for candles. It was made by Paul Revere in 1768, and it originally was commissioned by the Sons of Liberty and had the signatures of the 15 founding members. And as you will see with the mercury glass, some of these more contemporary items give us an idea of how we can also find newer pieces. I personally prefer to use some of the older glass items that we find at thrift stores. This one is priced at $65. It is a shell in mid-century glass. And it certainly adds a richness to your home. It's not something you got at your local drugstore. It's unique and fills your home with fragrance. I'm grateful to Bella's Candles for letting us share their store and their wonderful ideas of how to repurpose these vintage vessels. And here at their refill event, they had a Picard desk accessory, a covered box. And that would be a nice addition to your coffee table, especially at Christmas with that gold, beautiful Picard back stamp. And some of those wonderful vessels from England. I encourage you to embrace your antique and vintage pieces in new ways. Whether you fill a sugar bowl with sugar cubes, cotton swabs, or a hand-poured candle, we can enjoy our beautiful treasures. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with vintage vessel candles.